you've written a fiction work and you're shopping it around now. Do I remember that correctly?
Yes.
So how did all of this feed into your fiction writing?
So what's interesting is that after we wrote the parenting book, our kids who were young when we started it were getting a little older then. And I realized I didn't want to just be writing about my own children. It's one thing to tell a funny story about a 3-year-old asking where babies come from, right? Because that's kind of funny and they're 3 and you have to think, what do I tell them? That's cute, but I don't want to write about my 16-year-old asking about where babies come from. That's a different conversation and that's not a conversation for everybody else. That's not my story to tell.
Yeah.
And I had always wanted to write fiction, but again, how did doubt show up for me? I told myself I wasn't good at it. And I had a real fixed mindset. There's that research that Carol Dweck does. She's a psychologist at Stanford, I believe. And that notion that you're either fixed or in a growth mindset, that especially as girls, as women, we're told we're pretty, we're smart. And that's all well and good until you, I don't know, you look at a picture and you're not pretty, or you try to solve a puzzle and you don't get it. And then you think, I guess I'm not pretty. I guess I'm not smart. And that gets you nowhere. So that's the fixed mindset. On the other hand, a growth mindset is I'm someone who uses my brain to solve problems. And if I don't get it this time, I will use my brain to try to solve it again. So I had a real fixed mindset that I was a nonfiction writer, that I wasn't someone who could tell stories. And when I thought about not continuing to tell my own kids' stories and telling other made up stories, I wasn't very good at it at first. But that's okay because in a growth mindset, you practice, right? You get better. You try harder to bring your own vulnerability to the page.